how to skillfully question and carefully listen. And one of my favorite quotes about that relates to sales is that prescription before diagnosis is grounds for malpractice. If you've ever had the situation for yourself, or particularly if you have kids and you've had your kids sick or something wrong and you take them to the doctor, or if it was yourself, you go to the doctor and you've got symptoms and you've got something's going on and you know it, but you don't know exactly what it is. And the doctor talks to you for 1.5 minutes, doesn't ask any questions about symptoms and get into details. They just kind of look at you and they're like, oh yeah, there's a bug going around, take this antibiotic. And you're like, hang on a second. Aren't you we're gonna do any tests to see if that's what's going on? Or are you gonna kind of go through a process of elimination with the symptoms and how long it's been going on? And are you just gonna like throw a pill at it? Has anybody ever been through that experience with a doctor? It's pretty frustrating. I mean, and literally it can be grounds for malpractice if somebody prescribes something without understanding really what's going on and whether or not that's going to help. And one of the biggest examples of that in the medical industry has been, it's getting better now, but for a long time doctors would throw antibiotics at everything, and it wasn't even an infection that could be cured with an antibiotic. If it was just a virus and you took an antibiotic, it doesn't help a virus. Antibiotics would just have their impact and kind of, wreck your immune system in a sense. And, there's things you can do to mitigate that, but it became a real frustration for a lot of people, an awareness grew, but you got to the point where if you went to a doctor and they just wanted to throw antibiotics at it, you're like, hang on a second, that to me would be a red flag. I don't want to see this doctor. And if I'm talking to a salesperson and they haven't, in my estimation, haven't asked the necessary questions and really gone through a process to make a diagnosis, but they're ready to give me the prescription and tell me, oh yeah, here's what you need, and we're going to design this system and do this and do that. And you're kind of like, wait a minute, I don't know what that has to do with me. Is that just a generic one size fits all? And so mastering the skill set of asking the questions, obviously it's about learning how to sell them, but it's also about convincing them that you paid attention and that this solution is actually customized for their problem. It's not just generic.